What are natural numbers? They are counting numbers starting with 1. Good. Now how do we denote natural numbers? Okay, natural numbers are denoted by capital N. Good. Then going on to whole numbers. What are whole numbers? Yeah, whole numbers are all natural numbers including 0. Okay, they are not said as counting numbers with 0. They're usually told as natural numbers along with 0. Okay, it starts from 0. And how they are denoted? How are whole numbers denoted? Capital W. Good. Then coming to integers. What are integers? What are integers? I also give you a kind of formula. Yes, set of all positive and negative numbers along with 0. Correct, along with 0. So 0 is also there, negative and positive together with 0. Good. And how do we denote integers? Good, capital Z. Okay, we use capital Z to denote integers. Now, odd and even integers, if we have odd numbers in the series, then it is odd integers. If we have even numbers, then it is even integers, both positive and negative together. And 0 is neither positive nor negative. You cannot put that under completely positive only or negative only. So that is why what we do is, it is neither even nor odd. We just keep it neutral, saying it is not positive nor it is negative. Okay, so that is until odd and even integers. Now going on further, we understood prime numbers. Now what is a prime number? Who can answer this quickly? Type it in the chat box. What is a prime number? Exactly. So prime number is a number which is divisible by 1 and itself. Okay, it is usually said which is divisible by 1 and itself. So example, the easy example is 2. So 2, it is divisible by 2. So 2 by 2 is 1. And again 2 by 1 is 2. So it's something like 2 ones are 2 and 1 twos are 2. Okay, only those two are the divisors which you can get. So you can only divide 2 by 2. Okay, so you can only divide 2 by 2, which is 1, and then 2 by 1, which is 2. So if you see the number which can be divided by itself, so 2 is divided by 2 and which is divided by 1. Such numbers are called prime numbers. Then 2 is the only even prime number. Rest will be, odd numbers. You have many other numbers being involved. And how natural numbers are infinite, which means there are so many numbers in the number system. Similarly, prime numbers also, there are too many numbers. So that is why they are called as prime numbers are infinite. Infinite is countless. Then coming to composite number. If it is not a prime number, it is called a composite number. Okay, now here we took, yes, which is divisible by many numbers. Here we took an example of 2. So 2 is divisible by 2 or 1. Okay, but composite number, if you take 4, 4 is divisible by 2, and again it is divisible by same number, it is divisible by 1. Okay, now how to understand easily? Check the tables. Okay, 4 ones are 4, 2 twos are 4, 1 fours are 4. If you take 6, 2 threes are 6, 3 twos are 6, 6 ones are 6, and 1 6 are 6. See, you have more numbers which is getting divided. So that is composite number. Easy definition. An integer which is not a prime number. If it is not a prime number, it is called composite number. Okay, and this note is important. 0 and 1 are neither prime nor composite. Okay, 0 and 1, you cannot take it under prime also. Why 1 is not taken under prime? Because it has to be greater than 1. You cannot take 1 as prime number. It has to be greater than 1. Okay, so any doubts until here? Did you all understand? Anybody has any doubts until here? Any part you want me to explain it once again? Great, everybody understood. So let us move on. Let's go further. And today we will be understanding rational or rational numbers. Okay, however you may call it. Okay. Now, what are rational numbers? Now, rational numbers are the simplest form of P by Q. Now, if they give you a number in fraction, okay, then it is called a rational number. Okay, P by Q, P divided by Q format it has to be. That is condition number 1. And there is one more condition to this, that is where P and Q are integers. Okay, so P and Q are supposed to be integers. This is condition number 2. And there is one more condition where Q is not equal to 0. Okay, so this Q, the denominator should not be equal to 0. So this is condition number 3. So when they ask you what is rational number, few of them pronounce it as rational number. Okay, that's fine. So what's a rational number is? It is the simplest form of P by Q. That is condition number 1, where P and Q, where this numerator and denominator are integers. So why integers means both positive and negative numbers can be utilized. Okay, both it can be positive, negative, positive or negative, any combination can be considered. That is second condition. And the last condition which is compulsory to be followed is that Q is not equal to 0. This is compulsory. If Q is equal to 0, then it will not become a rational number. Okay, so how many conditions are there for rational number? How many conditions are there for rational number? 3 conditions. Now, can you say me what is the first condition? Can anybody say me what is the first condition which is given here? It has to be in the simplest form of P by Q. Okay, P by Q is the fraction form, simplest form of P by Q. Okay, and what is condition number 2? Yes, correct. It has to be in the simplest form. What is condition number 2? P and Q are integers. Okay, whatever fractions we have, they are supposed to be integers. Good, good. Then what is the last condition? Denominator Q should not be, denominator Q should not be denominator Q should not be equal to 0. Good. So denominator Q should not be equal to 0. So let's see few examples. Good, good. I've got many answers. That's good. Keep participating like this in the class so that you're more active and you'll be able to understand it quickly. Okay. So a few examples, let us see. Now, 4 by 7 they have given. So 4 by 7 is in the form of P by Q. See, this is P and this is Q. Okay, so first condition approved. Okay, they have followed first condition. The number is in the form of P by Q. Second condition, P and Q are integers. Now what are integers? both positive, negative numbers along with 0, we consider them. Okay, those are called integers. So 4 is an integer, 7 is an integer. Yes or no? Both 4 and 7 are integers, right? Yes. Okay, good. So 4 and 7 are integers. Now second condition is also done. Okay, they have complied with second condition. Now coming to condition number 3. Now q is nothing but the denominator. Now denominator, is it equal to 0? Is the denominator equal to 0 here in 4 by 7? No, they have directly given a number called as 7. It is not 4 by 0, okay, but it is 4 by 7. So it has also complied with condition number 3. So a rational number or a rational number is nothing but it has to comply 3 conditions. So the first condition is it has to be in the form of P by Q. See, 4 by 7, 3 by 5. Again, these are integers. 5 is not equal to 0 and they are P by Q format. And then if you see another one, minus 2 by 3. Minus 2 is also an integer. Okay. And then Q is not equal to 0. Okay. There's a number called 3 and it is not 0. And it is in a P by Q format. So this is a rational number. Now, rational number, how do they denote? Okay, rational number are denoted by capital Q. Okay, so we give a capital Q. So that is a rational number. Clear? Did you all understand what are rational numbers? This is mostly asked for 2 marks. Okay, it's a 2 marks definition. Define rational number, what is rational number, or difference between rational and irrational number. Okay, I will say you an example once again. Okay, so if you have a number, let's take a different number. Let's say 2 by 3. Now 2 by 3 is in the form of P by Q. It's a fraction. P by Q is there. And then 2 is also an integer. 3 is also an integer. Okay, and then 3, that is the denominator, is not equal to 0. Okay, so that in that case we call 2 by 3 as a rational number. Okay, you want one more example? 5 by 10. Even if you simplify them, it will be 1 by 2. Even this is not a even this is a rational number because P by Q and then Q is not equal to 0. Can you all hear me? It's clear, right? So there's no problem with the voice. Okay, great. So P is not equal to, Q is not equal to 0 and P and Q are integers. Okay, any doubts in this rational numbers? Everybody understood? Okay, now let us see few more points under them. I'll just clear this slide. Okay, let's see few more points. Every integer is a rational number. Now every integer means every positive, negative number is a rational number. Okay, then 0 is a rational number since 0 by 1 is a form of P by Q where P and Q are integer and Q is not equal to 0. So this is an extra addition. Now we saw all these examples of 4 by 7, 3 by 5 and everything, right? Now there is one more example which we'll have to understand. Let's say the example is 0 by 1. Do you think this is a rational number? Do you think this is a rational number? Okay, there are few no's also. See, simple thing is always remember 3 conditions and apply all the 3 conditions. Now first, say me, is this in the form of P by Q? Good, Lakshmi. Yes, it is in the form. Okay. Is this in the form of P by Q? Yes. So 0 by 1 also is in the form of P by Q. Now that means first condition is complied. Then second condition, is 0 and 1 an integer? 0 is also an integer, right? So 0 and 1 is also an integer. So condition number 2 is also satisfied. Okay, so condition number 2 is also satisfied. Then what is condition number 3? Q is not equal to 0. Here we have 1 and not 0. Right? So condition number 3 is also satisfied. So which means since condition number 1, 2 and 3 are satisfied, so this form, that is 0 by 1, this is also called as rational number. Okay, many of them will have confusion in this. Many will get confused, students, while you're solving problems. So please be careful. Apart from other integer numbers, if at all you have 0 in the numerator, I hope everybody knows this is called as numerator and this is called as denominator. Okay, if you have 0 in the numerator, no problem, it is still a rational number. The only condition is this form 1 by 0, this is not a rational number. Okay, it is not a rational number because Q is equal to 0 here. Okay, understood? Any doubts? Okay, now let's go on. So this was rational number. Now going to irrational number. Now we understood what is rational number with 3 conditions, right? Now irrational number is nothing but when those conditions are not fulfilled. Let's read this. A number which cannot be, which cannot be put in the form of P by Q. So first condition is not satisfied. So then it is a irrational number. If P and Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is equal to 0. If it is not in the form of P by Q, then it is irrational. Simple. If it is in the form of P by Q and P and Q are integers, Q is not equal to 0, this is rational number, which is denoted by capital Q. Okay, now coming to irrational number, if there is no P by Q, they will simply give you one number. Okay, but for this, if you have a square root, cube root, or if the root is for 4, such numbers, are they in the form of P by Q? This number is in the form of P by Q? Yes or no? No. So in such case, we call them as irrational numbers. Okay, I'll repeat it once again. If any number is not in the form of P by Q, then it is called as irrational numbers. Example, easy example for you to understand. Square root of 4. What is the answer? Square root of 4. 2. Correct? This number, square root of 4, is an irrational number because this is not in the form of P by Q. There's a square root and a number which is inside. Okay, so this is a form of irrational numbers. Only one condition to be fulfilled. It should not be in the form of P by Q. Understood? Any doubts in irrational numbers? Any confusion between rational and irrational numbers? Okay. Good. Everybody understood. Let's move on. Now, so that completes your basic theory of number system. Okay, we understood what are the types of numbers and how it has been done and everything. Now we will start with the problem side, that is LCM and HCF. Okay, first we will solve LCM. I'm sure, one second. Yeah, correct, Gauri. It should not be in the form of P by Q, my dear. It's not P and Q. It is P by Q. P by Q means P divided by Q. Okay, that is the form. Correct. Good. Okay, so that was your basic things. Now let's understand the the LCM part. Now LCM is the full form of LCM is least common multiple. We always have been calling them as LCM widely. It's widely used as LCM, and we'll be solving some few very simple problems. LCM and HCF problems can be asked for 2 marks and 6 marks. Okay, 2 marks or 6 marks. You may get problems for that. Okay, now first let's understand the definition of LCM. Now the least common multiple, do not forget the full form, least common multiple of the given set of integers is the, from here it's important, smallest integer which is divisible. Okay, you have to only consider the smallest integer which is divisible by each of the given integer. Okay, if they give you a number, you have to start from the smallest integer. Let's usually, okay, the tip is usually start, if it is divisible by 2, start from 2. Okay, that's the easiest form for you to crack down. Few numbers will not be divisible by 2, it will be divisible by 3. Okay, in that case, start from 3. See the smallest integer where you can divide the number, and then go on and divide the number. Whatever is left out at the end, that we will consider later. Okay, so that is least common multiple. So that's why it says least means smallest, common which is there in everything, and multiple. Okay, so that, yes, I'm repeating it once again. So the least common multiple or LCM is nothing but you have to consider the smallest integer. If a number, let's take for example 4. Now 4, by which number it is easily divisible? Which number can I take? 2. So I can say 2 2s are 4. Okay, 2 2s are 4. Correct? Now if I take 2 here, for the next 2 1s are 2. Right? Let's take another number. This is for 4. Now 4, the smallest integer I can consider is 2. But for the same thing, if I take, let's say 9. For 9, which is the smallest integer I can take? Can I take 2? 2 is not possible because 2 4s are 8. So I will take 3. So 3 is the smallest integer. 3 3s are 9. And then again, I will go 3 1s are 3. Understood? So this type of finding the multiples is called prime factorization method. When I solve the problems like this, 2 and 2, and see, I take the multiples here onto the left side, and on the right side I have their factors. So this is called as prime factorization method. I usually use prime numbers. What are prime numbers? Numbers which are divisible by 1 and itself. Okay, so if you take 2, 2 is divisible by 1 and itself. 3 is divisible by 1 and by 3 itself. So I usually take, so there's no rule, okay, but I usually take prime numbers and divide the given numbers. So that's why it's called as prime factorization method. Okay, now this part, the next line is very important. Listen to me. Express each number as the product of primes. Okay, product of primes means, see here I have 2 and 2. Okay, so for 4 I can write it as 2 into 2. I can write it as 2 into 2. Instead of writing as 2 into 2, what I will do is product of highest power of all factors. Now this 2 into 2, I can write it as 2 square, because 2 square also means 2 into 2. Yes, I'm repeating it again. 4, the number 4, I can write it as 2 into 2. Correct? Now this 2 into 2, I can also write them as 2 square. Okay. Now let us do the same thing for 9. 9, I can write it as 3 into 3. This 3 into 3, I can write it as 3 square also. Yes. So 3 square also is there. So everybody understood until here. So that is product of primes. Then what is LCM? LCM is equal to product of highest power of all factors. Okay, it's the highest power of all factors. Now we will understand this with one simple example, and then we will get back to the other problems. Okay, so we'll solve one very simple problem for you to understand. Just give me a minute. Yeah, Manas, I'll repeat it. Before that, we'll solve the problem. Okay, by solving problem, you'll understand LCM much better. Okay, I'll stop the share. 1 second. So find the LCM of 12, 21 and 24. Now, how can I write 12 under factorization method? Okay, I take 12. Now, which is the least number I can start with? Can I start with 2? I can say 2 6 are 12. Correct? 2 6 are 12. So that is my first number. So 2 6 are 12. Now, my next number will become 6. So how can I write 6? Again from 2. 2 3s are 6. Okay. Again, now my number will become 3. Now 3 is a prime number. I only have to divide by itself. So that is 3 1s are 3. Okay, so 12, I started with 12 and I divided it by 2. So 2 6 are 12. Then after this step, now my number is 6. So 2 3s are 6. Now again, for the last step, my number is 3. Here, what will happen? It's 3 is a prime number. So I have to divide by itself. So 3 1s are 3. Now, how can I write 12? 12 is equal to 2 into 2 into 3. Can I write them like that? 2 into 2 into 3? Yes or no? Yes, I can write them as 2 into 2 into 3. Now, I will modify this 2 into 2 into 3 a little more. How do I do that? 2 into 2, I will write them as 2 square and into 3. So 3 is only one number. So I will give that a power of 1. So 3 to the power 1 is 3 only. Okay. So 2 into 2 is 2 square and 3 is the single number which we have. So this 12 can be written as 2 square into 3 to the power of 1. Okay. So did you all understand the how to find the factorization of 12? Everybody understood for 12. Good. Now, let us solve for 21. Okay, now let us solve for 21. This PPT or PDF will be sent in the group, so you can copy down and solve the problem. Do not worry. Okay, so let's do for 21. Now, 21. Which is the smallest number I can use for 21? I cannot use 2 because 2 ones are 2 and then 1 will be remaining. So I'll go with 3. 3. So 3 sevens are 21. 3 into 7 is 21. Now, next my number will become 7. So 7 is a prime number. So since 7 is a prime number, I have to divide that by itself. 7 ones are. Is there any option to divide 7 other than 7 and 1? 1 sevens are 7, 7 ones are 7. Those are the only options that we have. So 21, for 21, what are the factorization? 3 into 7. Since both the numbers are repeated only once, I can just say 3 to the power 1, 7 to the power 1. Okay, did you all understand the factorization for 21? Any doubts in that? Okay, now we'll go for the next number, that is 24. Okay, so for 24, now 24, it is divisible by 2 for sure. Okay, so we'll start with the smallest integer, that is 2. So 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. Okay, which is nothing but 12 into 2 is 24. Did you understand this? 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. Then now my number is 12. Again 12 I can divide it by 2. 2 6 are 12. Good, good. Come on, say me the factors like that. Okay, 2 6 are 12. Now next my number is 6. Now how do I factorize 6? Again 2 3s are, not 3 2s are, 2 3s are. Okay, because 2 will come here. Okay, 2 3s are 6. Then last, now 3 is my number. So 3 1s are 3. Now how can I write the factors for 24? 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. Now instead of writing 2 into 2 into 2, I can say them as 2 cube